What's up, guys? It's Corpse Class. Welcome back to another video. It has been forever since I uploaded. I'm so sorry about that. It's been 14 days. I've been grounded, but I'm not grounded anymore. It's good. This is a new game. We're playing WWE2k25. This is one of my favorite games, actually. Just what sucks is I have to download the new one every year, but it's good. I get updated superstars and whatnot. But yeah, new game. Hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get into this video. Now, this is about the time that someone tried to break into my grandmother's house when I was there. So during, I guess this time, my grandma would have me stay at her house and watch her dogs for a little while, like an overnight thing. It would only last maybe 4 or 5 days, and I get paid good money. I get paid $60 a night, and that's like a lot of cash, and I buy a lot of things, particularly Xbox stuff. But anyway, so this one time she had me stay there for maybe about 4 nights. It wasn't too long, and I think it was about maybe the second night. The second night I was there, I was just chilling in the living room. That's where I was. I had my Xbox set up on the TV. I was playing some COD by myself, and outside, because it was silent in the house, and all you can hear is the shooting, but you can also hear noises that happen in the background. So like if the dogs are in like one of the bedrooms, like playing with a toy, you can hear the toy squeaking. So it's a big kind of echoey house, but you can, you get what I mean. But anyways, I heard some like rustling, and I thought it maybe, because it sounded like rocks or trash, and I thought it was maybe the dogs outside who like got into the trash can and took some trash out. And I went to go investigate outside. So I went into the office, because my grandma's office connects right to the back door. So I went to the office, went up to the back door to take a look. Big mistake. I probably shouldn't have done that. I opened up the door, and only one of the dogs was out there, and she ran in so fast through that door. So there's a doggy door, and they usually go through that dog door, but for some reason she just didn't. She was out there, and right when I opened the door, she ran right in, tail tucked between her legs. And then, like, right when she ran in, she turned around and just started barking, and I all freaked out. I'm like, all right, this ain't good. Something's out there, something messed with that dog. I probably thought it was maybe a raccoon or a squirrel or something, maybe a cat that was just messing with her. It wasn't, clearly. So I had shut the screen door, because it's the main door, and there's a screen door that's kind of like a meshy kind of metal. I shut it, and I turned on my phone flashlight and like pressed it up against that screen door and took a look outside, and I didn't see anything. So I'm like, oh shoot, like something's out there. I want to investigate. So I shut the main door, lock it, and then I put the dog door, because there's a little like slider thing, and if you slide it over the dog door, the dogs can't go in and out. It's like a plastic piece. You probably see it. It probably comes with many dog doors. You know what I'm talking about. But I slid it over the door. I ran to the kitchen. I grabbed the knife. My grandma's knives are not sharp whatsoever. The tips of the knives are just dull. The only thing that's sharp is like the where you cut, you know what I mean? Not the tip of the knife. And it wasn't sharp whatsoever, so I couldn't stab anyone. All I can do is slash it. So I grabbed the knife, and I realized this is freaking dull. So I need something else to, arm myself. So I couldn't find a single thing. I just stuck with the damn knife. I went back out to the door, opened the door, put my phone up to the screen door with the flash on, took a look around. I didn't see anything again. I wanted to make sure. And this time I opened the door, opened the back door, the screen door, opened it, put my foot out. I took a peek around, and then I see because in my grandma's backyard there's this little treehouse kind of thing. It's like a little jungle gym that she has for all the grandkids. And we're technically all grown up now, so no one uses it. But my youngest brother, my baby brother, he actually might use it, because he's the youngest grandkid. But anyway, I saw a figure near that little jungle gym, and I stepped out a little more and kind of held up the knife in like a killing motion, like if you were like a serial killer like Michael Myers. I held it up like that, and I shined my phone light, and I just see like this figure, because right next to this, like, what was I calling it, the play area, there's a shed. There's like a couple sheds, there's like maybe 3 sheds, and they're all lined up next to each other. I saw the figure run toward the shed and like hide behind one of them. So now I'm freaking out. And then I slammed that screen door shut. I locked the screen door. I shut the main door, locked the main door, like the main back door, like the wooden door or whatever. I made sure that doggy door was closed, and it was closed. I closed all the blinds in the office, ran to the kitchen, closed the kitchen blinds, ran to the den area. The den area is right next to the front door because in the den, that's where we do Christmas. We have the Christmas tree and Thanksgiving. I ran over there, closed all the blinds, made sure that the screen door for the front door was locked and the main door for the front door was locked. I ran down each bedroom, turned off all the lights, ran back to the living room, turned off the TV, turned off my Xbox, and I made sure the house was in complete darkness. The only thing that was emitting light was my phone flashlight, which definitely wasn't a good idea because you could see a little light flashing right now. I turned off all the lights except my phone flash, and I stood in the middle of the living room. I had found both dogs. My grandma's dog, Chloe, she's the laziest one. She just lays around all the time. I found her. She was in the back bedroom. I took her out of that back bedroom, bring her to the living room with me, and then Pixie, she's a really fat dog. She was the one that ran in scared. I got Pixie. I bring her to the living room, and I kind of had us all there. I was trying to think of an area on the house where there was no windows. And there was like no windows in that area. And there was one spot, but it wasn't too good. So in my grandma's kitchen, right next to the oven, if you walk through, there's an entry to the garage door. And right on the right side of the garage door, there's a bathroom. So there's a bathroom near the kitchen. And it's a little bathroom. There's just a toilet and a sink. There's not even the shower in there. You know, it's just kind of like, oh, I need the bathroom while I'm cooking. Quick, use the restroom and go. That kind of thing. And there's no windows in that bathroom. But if you open up the door and stand in the doorway of that bathroom, right across above the washer and dryer, there's windows. So there's a window there, which I was nervous about. But the problem with that freaking window is I can't close there's no blinds. It's just a clear window. So that's the only window in the house that doesn't have blinds. And it's the worst spot because someone can see me run into that bathroom and shut the door. That's the only bathroom with that windows. And it wasn't a good idea. And I was thinking, like, what do I do now? Like, I can't. There's a window right in front of that. Someone's gonna see me close that damn window. So now I'm really thinking here. I was like, I gotta get these dogs to safety. I don't want them to get messed up. So I decided to go to the front bedroom. There's a window in the front bedroom, but the figure that I saw, the guy, because it's a dude. I don't know why I keep calling him a figure. He was in my backyard. He was my grandma's backyard, my fault. So he was in the backyard. I don't know if he was gonna go to the front yard, but I had to make sure he doesn't. So I ran down to the front bedroom, opened up that closet, I put both the dogs in the closet, shut the door, and I ran back out of there, so the dogs are safe now. They're in that closet. Only problem is that the fat one, Pixie, was whining, and it didn't help the situation. So I was like, shoot, like she's whining. I don't know how much you can hear when you're outside and someone's being loud inside. Because at my house, you could definitely hear someone's inside making noise, and you're outside the house. That's kind of what I was worried about. So I ran back over to the backyard. Backyard like by the blinds. I went to the office, peeked the blinds just a little, and I didn't see anything. And I was like, I gotta investigate to make sure that thing's not here. But I just wanna, because the curiosity got the best of me. I probably should have called the police, but I freaking didn't. And that was a big mistake. And I didn't. So I went back to the kitchen, grabbed the same knife, which was on the counter. But I didn't want to use the damn knife, so I went into the garage, and I cannot see a thing in that garage. It's like a pitch black garage. And there's a door that's in the garage that leads to the backyard, which I forgot to freaking lock, from what I remember. I don't remember locking it. I ran into the garage, and I grabbed the tools. I grabbed a hammer. It was like a big mallet. It was a big, long mallet. And I grabbed that. I looked like Triple H, man. I was holding it like Triple H. I had the knife in one hand, the big mallet in the other hand. Freaking walking out like Triple H. I open up the back door, open up the screen door, take a peek, don't see anything, and I looked forward, so I took left, right, looked forward, and then this guy is by the bushes near the shed, and he sees me, and I probably should have told him that I was going to call the police, and I didn't tell him that I was going to call the police, so I raised up that mallet that I had in my hand, and I saw him sprint toward the door. He made a straight run for it. He ran straight for me. I slammed the door, locked it, closed the other door, locked it, and I just hear banging on the door. And I ran back to the living room. I hid behind one of the couches, and I could hear him from the outside. He said, open the door, help me, open the door, please open the door. And I was like, well, no, I'm not opening that damn door. Whatever's gonna get you, buddy, is gonna get you. I ain't opening the door. And I'm freaking out. And I was like, okay, now it's time to call the damn police. So I picked up my phone, dialed 911. Before I hit the 911 thing, he stopped making noises. And I probably should have just kept calling 911, but I didn't. So I peeked around the corner just to kind of see if his shadow was by the back door. I didn't see shadow. Should I went to a mistake? No, but I went anyway. And I went up to the door. I had peeked through the blinds that are next to that door. There was no one in the backyard. And then I hear a punch, like a pound. And in my grandma's backyard, there's like 2 windows. One of the windows is a window to one of the bathrooms. And the other window is the window to the back bedroom where my grandma sleeps. And I hear a bang over there. And I'm like, shoot, is he trying to break into the house? Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm the only one here. Dogs are in the closet. So I ran down to the first bathroom. When you walk in, there's the hallway and there's the bathroom. I ran down to that bathroom, made sure the light was off. And I tilted my flashlight up toward the roof so you can kind of see if there's someone back there. My bad. I turned my flashlight up to the roof, was kind of looking toward the window, and there was no one there. But there was still banging. So I went to my grandma's bedroom, looked, no one was there. And now I'm really freaking out because I'm hearing banging, but I don't know where it is because it sounds like it's in the area where the bathroom window is and my grandma's window is. And I can't figure out where. So I was like, you know what, I had enough. I'm calling the damn police. I'm calling the damn police. I ran back to the office, opened up the door, took a peek out, and I yelled, I was like, hey, get off my grandma's property. I'm gonna call the police. And then I hear a voice that goes, what did you say? And I hear rustling, and I'm like, shoot. I ran back inside, closed the door, and I was like, no, I'm really calling the damn police. So I got up, because I was like, shut the door. I ran over to the front door, and I went, because I was like the area where he wasn't on that side. I got my phone ready, and I went to call the police. I called 911, I dialed it, and the 911 operator answered. She's like, 911, what's your emergency? I told her, I was like, there's some guy in my backyard, my grandma's house. He's trying to get in my house. He ran straight for me when I opened up the door. I told her everything that happened. She told me to describe the guy. I didn't even know what he looked like. It was dark out. I told her, I don't know what he looked like. He's in my backyard. I couldn't figure out, I couldn't make out his face. So I gave her the address. She said she was going to send some officers to the house. And I went back to the backyard. And I shouted, I was like, hey, the police are on the way. Get the hell off my property. And finally, he said, okay. And he ran. That's all I heard was okay. And then I heard rustling, and I heard running. And then I closed the back door. I ran to the front, where the front door, because there's a window next to the front door. I peeped out that window, and I see him running down the street. He's just taking off so damn fast. And now I know what he looked like. He was just a dude in gray sweatpants and a black jacket. Black hoodie with the hood up. That's all I could see. I didn't see his face. I just saw his pants and his jacket. And he's running down the street, and he just took a left, and he was gone. So I was like, shoot. I feel like I should call up the operator again. But I kind of feel like it'd be a different operator. I don't know. I feel like 911 operators switch each time. But anyways, about 15 minutes later, I got a knock on the door. It's the police. So I go to answer the door, and the officer's like, hey, we got a call. Someone was here. And I was like, yeah, there's a guy here. I told him that I call you guys, and he took off running. And they asked me, where did he go? And I told him, I was like, he took a left down that way, and I pointed him in the direction he ran. And they're like, thanks, did you figure out what he looked like? And I told him he was a dude in the gray sweatpants and a black sweatshirt. He told me, thank you. He asked if I got, what his face looked like. I told him I couldn't get the face, but I knew what he was wearing. I told him the situation. I told him that this isn't my house, it's my grandma's house. I'm watching her dogs. The dogs are in the closet, that kind of thing. And he's like, all right, cool. Thanks, kid. See you around. And I was like, yeah, you too. And I closed the door. Went back to the front bedroom, opened up that closet door, and there were the dogs. They both ran out. And immediately when they ran out of the room and just started barking really loud because I guess they can hear the guy that was talking in the backyard. And they ran down to the living room, and they kind of went to the back door, almost immediately. And I didn't let him out there. I wanted to make sure I didn't want to let him out there for the rest of the night. So I turned on all the lights again. I left the blind shut, but I turned on the lights. I put the hammer away, I put the knife away, and I looked around. And I was just kind of making sure that, none of the windows were broken because the dude was banging on something. And I kind of just put this whole thing in the rest. And that's not where the story kind of ends. No. So I was like, you know what? He's gone. They probably went to go get the dude. They probably questioned him. It's not my problem anymore. So So I turned on my Xbox, turned on the TV, and just started playing COD again. You know, minding my own business. And I got tired and I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep because it was probably maybe 3 in the morning. So I went to bed, woke up the next morning, and whenever I let the dogs out, I go out in the backyard with them. Like I'll grab a water bottle and go out in the backyard and sit with them and kind of just, you know, check out the morning air because it's nice in the mornings. So I went and did that. I opened up the back door, let the dogs out, and I had also opened up the doggy door because I forgot to open that. So I let them out through the main back door and I opened the dog door. I went out and I took a seat on this little bench that my grandma had on the opposite side of the backyard. I took a seat there and I just kind of sipped on my water. So I soon realized that the dogs weren't in the area where they usually would go to the bathroom. So I decided to go look for them. I got up off the bench and I walked over to the opposite side of the backyard and I found them. They were by the wall where I guess that guy was, where I had the banging. And on that wall there was, you know, like marks where it looked like a hammer. Like you were smacking the wall with the hammer. Those little circles and chips and whatever freaking marked out of it. There were scratches. Probably from the back of the hammer, because in the back of the hammer you can use it to pull nails out of the wall. Probably from that, there were scratches on it. And there was nothing wrong with the glass, but there was just a whole bunch of like scratches and whatnot on it. So I was like, I'm gonna take a quick picture. I snapped a picture and I was like, all right, well that's enough. I'm gonna go inside. The dogs will come inside when they want to. So I went inside, I just made breakfast and I was like, I'm not gonna deal with this right now. You know, this guy is probably never gonna come back to the house and I hope he doesn't. So made my breakfast, went on through my day, and yeah. I haven't heard anything about the dude that was in that backyard. I haven't heard a single thing. No one ever came to the backyard. I actually told my grandma about the situation, and her and my grandpa did a whole search of the backyard, and there was no one back there. There was no one back there. No signs of anyone being back there. The only thing I did tell them about was the broken bricks, like the broken like chipped bricks that were on the wall because their house was like, you know, made of brick. But that was it. They didn't really care too much about the break. They just wanted to make sure that I was okay, and I was just fine. So, yeah. Moral of the story is, if you're home alone, be careful. I don't really got a moral for you. Just, I don't know. If you're in a situation where someone's on your property, don't be like me and try to go out and tell them to go away. That's just stupid. Immediately call 911 and just put this thing to rest. You know, that's all you gotta do. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the story. I will try to upload again when I can. Other than that, you guys have a great day or night or evening. Peace.